So we are in the basement. We haven't had a good look down here, but we actually have some decent light, so I'm going to give it a crack. They've been going after this boulder, and it doesn't look like they've accomplished much, but they spent about 2 days on it already. They're going to keep going. They might have gotten a third of it taken out. They've been drilling and wedging. You can see the wedges over there. Maybe you can't, but they're in there. Feathers and wedges to drill it and take chunks out. It's been successful. You can see big chunks have been removed and smaller chunks have been removed as well. This whole pad, this was a poured concrete slab. It was very thin, only maybe 2 inches thick. But that's about going to be the level of the basement. We'll have about 7.5, almost 8 feet of head room down here, so that's going to be pretty awesome for a house of this age to have a real workable basement. Lots of digging to do. All the dirt is much too high, so there's a lot more stone to carve away. They'll be working on that next week. The tanks have been disconnected and drained. They need to get taken out. I'm not sure who's doing that or when that's going to happen, but it wants to happen pretty soon too, so they can get rid of the concrete pads that they're sitting on, as well as this concrete pad over here. A little darker over here, apologize for that, but you can see the old furnace has been disconnected. It's ready to haul out, but it's probably, I don't know, several hundred pounds. So they're waiting until they have a bigger piece of equipment. Oh, that's bad. I should go the other way. Waiting on a bigger piece of equipment to try to get the furnace out of there. And then this is the base of the stove, wood-burning, old-fashioned stove. I've disassembled everything that could easily just kind of be picked up and pulled off. I think there were 4 screws total that I took off, so it all just kind of drops in place. And I'm waiting on hearing back from the restoration place as to if they're going to come and pick it up or if I need to haul it out of here, but we're going to get it out of here because it's sitting on a concrete pad that we got to get demoed and hauled out as well. So lots to do. The plan down here, I don't know if we've been down here to go over the plan, but basically in this opposite corner you can see that there are some footings that are holding in on the inside of the wall. It wraps around this corner. This must have been done when this kind of like this room was put in and all this other concrete was poured. It does not appear to have any rebar in it or anything, but we're hoping to do the same thing around the entire perimeter of the basement and the crawl space. We're going to kind of treat it the same exact way. And then on top of these footings, these new kind of interior footings, we're going to put stud walls to support the floors up above. That's particularly important on the ends of the building for supporting the floors where right now they're going right into the brick. They're let into the brick. And instead they're going to be actually supported by these walls. And so these footings are going to be really important. They'll be supported by the walls. And so it'll be a little bit different. It'll take a little bit of the load off of the brick and hopefully just let it deal with its own weight instead of all the weight of the rest of the structure. So that'll happen all the way around the perimeter. And then these little bump outs, these are supports for the fireplaces above. They're going to just kind of get incorporated. So the footer will wrap around, come back this way and over across the front and around, and then we'll pour a slab inside there. And we're debating on, if it's usable, because we got to insulate down here as well. That would be a lot of extra insulation. I think we're going to end up just closing those off, leaving them for support. Probably right now they're just resting. There's no mortar between these really at all. There is up here, but the main supports are just resting there, which is kind of dry stacked. Kind of interesting. You can see in there daylight through. Lots of daylight in some places, but we got to close those up. so that we can insulate kind of along this back wall and then out toward the camera and then across the face and back in. Along the way, that window is going to be kind of right, we might be able to save that window. It's very close to this location. So it looks like these two windows here on the north side, south side, I'm sorry, here and here, will have to go based on the plan. And these two, this one on the east side, the front of the house, those two that you mostly see will be able to stay. And so we'll have a little bit of natural light there, and we might be able to get them to be just a tiny bit bigger by dropping that sill a bit. But yeah, this whole face is going to get the same treatment with a footer along the front and a new stud wall and insulation. Down here we've got our electrical panel, which is impossible to see with this light, this lighting. Here we go. Barely see the electrical panel. This is going to be an awful video. But the panel will be in this corner over here where the bulkhead is now. So it probably actually will be hung right there. So we'll have electrical right here. We'll have cable coming in here as well. And then on this side is where the well, that's all been removed, but the well comes in, the new well comes in right here. Again, hopefully this comes out of camera. And this will be our mechanical room, this kind of northwest corner. And that's the plan. Floor all gets dug down about 18 inches to give us the headroom that we want down here, and stairs will actually come down right here, be landing right about here and then turning, and this whole open space, including those stairs, all the way through here is going to be our like storage, and maybe we'll put some exercise equipment down here or something like that. And then on this half, it'll all be mechanicals, pretty much the way it was. That's it. Let's go upstairs.